and welcome on Vivek's Viewpoint. This is Vivek and today I'm going to discuss a vital topic which is United Nations still relevant or not? So before understanding about this topic, we have to understand that what is United Nations and why it is formed, and a lot of things are there like its achievements, failures, Indian perception about veto and other things also there. So let's start the video. So firstly we have to start that what is United Nations. So United Nations is an international organization formed in 1945 after the World War II. It have 193 members states which work together to resolve the conflicts, which work together to resolve environmental problems, human rights, and other things also. So it have also subdivisions like General Assembly, Security Council, and WHO, and more also there. I hope you listen about the WHO at the COVID time. So first, then we have to talk that why it is formed. Why? What is the reason why it is formed? So I hope you know about the World War II and World War First. So it is primarily work to prevent the reoccurrence of the devastating World War First and World War II, because there are fucking lot of casualties of civilians, and it is also work on various issues like I have already told, conflicts, and like environmental problems, human rights, and other things. And all the 193 member states sit together and like find the ways to resolve the wide range of global issues. And now if we talk about its achievements, so United Nations achieved a lot. We have to start it from the peacekeeping missions. So United Nations sent peacekeeping missions in the conflict areas to protect the civilians. I hope you know about there is a lot of countries in the Africa which is affected by the conflicts. So if we talk about second, which is humanitarian aid, United Nations provide millions of peoples the humanitarian aid, including food, shelter, education, and others, in which the area is conflict. And if we talk about the second thing, other third thing, which is environmental work, United Nations eagerly work on the environment to protect and save our environment. And if we talk about further, then United Nations also worked about gender equality and human rights all over the world. If there is any issues regarding gender equality and human rights, United Nations is the first to respond on it and try to resolve all the issues in any way. So after the achievements, we have to talk about the failures also. So one of the major failure of United Nations is that United Nations is unable to stop the major conflicts. Like if we talk about, there is Syrian war, and if we talk about Russia Ukraine, if we talk about Russia, Hamas and Israel war, then I think Russia Ukraine more than 1 year. I think it will be completed 2 year in February 24, and United Nations is unable to stop that war. And if we talk about Israel and Hamas war, it is I think this is 25th day of the Israel and Hamas war. United Nations is unable to stop the war, but there are resolutions in which I think there is what is work is there. I don't know about that. So after the failures, there is another failure, subdivision of the veto power. Like as I already told, there is a subdivision, Security Council, in which there are 15 members, in which 5 are permanent members and 10 are non-permanent members. If we talk about the permanent members, then there is America, France, UK, United Kingdom, China, and Russia. One of the interesting thing is that these 5 members are the winners of the World War II and also the founding members of the United Nations. So all the 5 members have a different kind of power, which is known as veto power. So what is the use of veto power is that if there is any resolution in the United Nations, then all the 5 members have the power to reject that resolution. So if we talk about the other non-permanent members, they don't have that kind of power. Only the permanent members have the power to reject any resolutions which will pass in the United Nations. This is the like how can I say different power. Only 5 members have. All over the world there are 193 members, 193 countries. Only 5 members have that power which reject any resolution in the UN. And the third is inefficiency in the bureaucracy. There is fucking lot of inefficiency in the bureaucracy in United Nations. And if we talk about further Indian perception, so India I think right now 1.4 billion peoples. We have fucking 1.4 billion peoples, and we don't have veto power. We have a lot of things to gain the veto power, but as I listen our great Prime Minister Narendra Modi and James Bond, Dr. S. Jaishankar, both the leaders always told about the reforms in the United Nations. And I also hear lot of UN experts also who said always said that United Nations want reforms, because I think it's if we calculate it from 1945 today, it's 80 years old organizations. I heard a lot of European Parliament experts who said that United Nations want reforms. So the question is that is United Nations still relevant or not? So in my personal views, I think at the time of 16 or 70s or 80s, United Nations is relevant. But if we saw the geopolitics of current situation is totally different, and United Nations is not that much relevant to resolve all the conflicts. So I think United Nations wants reform. It's my perception, it's my personal perception. Thank you very much. If you like the video, then share and subscribe it.